So Marvel Studios' own Kevin Feige has now come out and talked about the fact that the Avengers Endgame team is largely going to be a huge journey from the original Avengers to the current roster, and why it's very personal and very self-contained. So you have to understand that the surviving Avengers were picked for a deliberate reason. We know this. And recently, Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios, was during, his rounds of interviews, and specifically asked about the choice to keep the original 6, right? The original Avengers plus some of the other outside characters. And he specifically went and talked about the fact that this was a choice that they wanted to make for Endgame because of Infinity War being such a different movie. We never got to see Cap and Iron Man together. The teams were very much fragmented. And when they went into Endgame, this was the end of the journey, kind of a bookend to what started with the Avengers. And they wanted to focus on a very personal relationship of these characters and how these characters came together in the original film, how they had differences, but ultimately they united for one cause and stuck together as a team, even though they had different, points of views and what they wanted to do. Ultimately, that caused them to lose in Infinity War, and they have to realize now we have to come back together, we have to work together, and we have to be a team if we're going to do this again, right? And honestly, him confirming this is kind of a good way to go about it, because it gives us an expectation of what this movie is going to be, where Infinity War, while I love the movie, was definitely a Thanos-led movie. And it focused on him and his story, and him as this weird protagonist, right? From a certain point of view. Endgame is going to flip that around and finally bring the team together again and show what they went through and how they can reunite again. Kind of, making that big Avengers push going forward as a team, which we haven't really had since Age of Ultron. So I'm rather excited, and this confirmation just gets me even more excited. So, hype, I guess.